Vanguard's Life Strategy Funds is a series of all-in-one packaged mutual funds with a mix of bonds and stocks made for those who are not comfortable picking their own stocks or putting it all in a stock market index funds. Are they any good, or should you stick with the index funds? Welcome to another video. We're talking Vanguard today. If you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe, the notification bell, drop me a comment if you have any questions. Now I'm going to dive straight into it. So you got 4 funds offering a split of stocks and bonds from 80-20 to 20-80. They use a mix of the Vanguard's total US stock market, total US bond market, total international stocks and international bonds to create the risk level you want. So you're going to get a mix of those 4. So you get a little bit of everything. Domestic, international, bonds and stocks. They require a $3,000 minimum investment. You have to pay about 0.1 to 0.13% expense ratio every year, and they mostly yield somewhere above 2% in annual dividend. So you get 2% extra on top of the price appreciation. So you've got 4 funds. You've got the income fund, which is 80-20 bond stocks, 0.11% expense ratio, 2% dividend. You get 12% US stocks, 8% international stocks, then 56% US stocks, bonds, 24% international bonds. You got the conservative growth funds, you get a little bit more risk, 60-40 bond stocks, 0.12%, 2.1% dividend. You get 24% US stocks, 16% international stocks, then you got 42 US bonds, and then 18 international bonds. You got the moderate growth funds for those risky investors out there. 40-60 bond stocks, 0.13%, 2.3%. You got 28% US stocks, 24% international stocks, 36% US bonds, and then 12% international bonds. Last one for those Bitcoin investors out there, you've got the growth fund, the most aggressive one, which is 20-80 bond stocks, 0.13%. 2.3%. You get 36% US stocks, 24% international stocks, 28% US bonds, and then 12% international bonds. So those are the 4 you got to go with. Me personally, I would probably go with the most aggressive ones. The first ones gets a little bit slow for me. I think all 4 of these are great offers for anyone looking to get invested immediately. You know, put your money in one place and never think of it again. They offer great diversification, low expense ratio, decent dividend, and a decent expected return. Do they beat a pure stock market index though? Most likely not. You see, although they underperform slightly in the short term, that slight difference amounts to a huge difference in the long term. And the SP 500 crushes all of these 4 funds in the long run. And while most of these funds give between 6 and 7% return annually since 1994, the SP 500 is about 7.3%. And keep in mind, you have to pay the expense ratios for these funds. So even VASGX, so the growth fund, the most aggressive one, comes close to this S&P 500 or the Dow Jones on paper, but in the long run, it is so skewed for the S&P 500. Just have a look at this chart where you got the S&P 500 crushing the 4 life strategy funds. And that chart really begs the question, are Vanguard Life Strategy Funds good investments? Yes, much better than keeping it in the bank or going all in bonds. But should you buy them? No. Buy an index fund instead and never sell. They simply fall short. It might feel safe. It might feel like you're hedging against a recession with the bonds in the portfolio, but they will simply underperform. They've done so, they're underperforming now, and they will in the future. So instead of Vanguard's Life Strategy Funds, I would recommend you go with Vanguard's SP 500 ETF, aka the VOO. I did a video on that you can watch here. It's where I evaluate the different SP 500 ETFs. So Vanguard Life Strategy Funds, good idea. You know, might make you feel sleep well at night, but nothing for me. Hope you learned something in this video. Let me know if there's anything I missed, or if you have any questions about these mutual funds or ETFs or anything. And as always, I'll see you guys in my next video.